Here's another James Strickland bench press workout. There he goes with 545. Next up is 585 on the bar. See this two-man liftoff? He doesn't know these guys, so that's really not a good idea. And I talked to him about this. So if you take one thing away from this world-class bench pressing, besides the world-class bench pressing, do not use two-man liftoffs with people you don't know. So we're going up to 610. We're kind of semi-testing the waters to see how this moves because James is doing a meet May 14th, and we'll talk a little about that strategy after we see this 610 right here with a two-man liftoff. I am cringing watching. Okay, so here James goes. Ooh, see that teeter-totter? I am so thankful that nothing happened there. Comes down, good solid pause, blew it up. So even with that, atrocious liftoff right there, I still think he had 2 reps in for sure. So things are looking awesome. That's by far the best James has ever bench pressed in the gym. His PR at 275-pound weight class, which he could make right now without cutting, is 611. So obviously he's much heavier than that because he wasn't even hitting 600 in the gym regularly when he did that. So his PR is 633 at 308. I'm pretty confident he can beat that right now. So what James is going to do is May 14th, he's going to do a meet at the Woodlands Strength and Conditioning. That's down in Woodlands, Texas, a suburb of Houston. And there, we're going to go heavy, but we're going to basically use it as a workout. So essentially, he's going to train right through that meet. So James is going to go, not anything stupid where he's like lifting, bench pressing heavy the day before the meet. But at the same time, we're not going to like taper into it. We're not going to take off anything the week before. And I'm very excited to see what happens there. So the strategy from there is James will do a meet in July. We have not decided for sure which meet in July. It's going to be, we're just going to basically try to find something that, is obviously legit and is going to give James, the best chance of success if someone's hosting a meet in Beijing and they want him to come. That's very unlikely to happen because we don't want him, traveling, across multiple time zones, things like that. But so we're going to try to find a very good strict judge meet that's going to set James up for success. And as always, we say, as the great Bill Kazmaier said, a strong back equals a strong man. So we're always hitting back. James hits some sort of upper back movement every single time he trains. And although, I'm not talking as much about the exercise today because you can see what's going on. We've been talking about that. And although James is specializing in bench now, we are keeping his squat and deadlift training going. So he's just basically like, for instance, when he squats, I have him going like 500 for a couple sets of 5, not really adding weight to the bar. But what he does is he does it in a compensatory acceleration style. So each set, each rep, he puts maximum force on the bar and it looks like an empty bar. So I guarantee you, when the time comes for James to do a 3-lift meet, he's also going to blow people away there. He talked a little bit about wanting to do a 3-lift meet, and I kind of want to hold off on that till we get some more bench press records under his belt and he can fully commit to it because he thought it might be sort of fun. But unfortunately, at the level James is at, we can't just be doing things that are just kind of fun when you're trying to set all-time world records, and you got a damn good shot of doing it very soon. So watch these dumbbell pause flies here. So we're back to talk about the exercise a little bit. So before, one thing James was doing is he kind of slammed the dumbbells together. So I have him stop now. I talked to him about stopping the dumbbells about 4 inches apart. That's so he doesn't ride momentum at the end. He keeps continuous tension on those chesticles. We want swollen chesticles when we're going for a world-class bench press, my friends. And he gets a good pause at the bottom of the movement, breaking up that eccentric concentric chain. And more beautiful than that is when people are doing this movement, it ensures the proper range of motion, because a lot of times what happens is, I've said this a few different times now, flies become a bastardized press or extension. So it no longer is a fly, it becomes a crypto press, crypto extension, and then there's no way to quantitatively track data. Okay, so with lifting weights, unfortunately, with the rise of, like some of the social media celebrities like Instagram, things like that, there becomes way too much emotion involved in lifting. This is not an emotional thing if you're trying to track quantitative data. It's if the fly becomes a press or an extension. It's no longer a fly. We're no longer an accurate measure of what's going on. It's not the same movement anymore. It's just not the same movement. So that's not where, I mean, doesn't mean like an extension's bad. A press is not bad. It's just no longer measuring the same thing. So we're trying to track progress on someone's, like on a more of an isolation chest movement, and it's become a different movement. How in the hell are you going to track the progress if it's a different movement? You're not. So that's besides, and then the flip side is a lot of times flies hurt people's shoulders. And the dumbbell floor pause fly kind of keeps most people that have that problems in that safer range of motion. So here we go, James, the decline tricep extensions. This is a great movement right here. Get a little extra range of motion. Get a nice stretch, because remember, a muscle being stretched is a muscle under tension. Mechanical tension is obviously the way to strength. It's the most important factor in eliciting muscle hypertrophy. So tension is important, and the muscle under stretch is a muscle under tension, my friends. And James is, decline, give him a little extra stretch here. And if you're having I've heard of a couple people having, when I've talked about this movement, they've had problems getting a good pump and feel in the triceps. The easy way to combat that is to do a 5-second negative. Okay, so you do 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005 on the way down, and you will feel it in your back arms, so to speak, as I'd say, behind bars. The other thing you can do also, we've talked about before, is you can isometrically contract your triceps for like 5 to 6 seconds beforehand. Do it as hard as possible, get into the movement. That's another good way to build the so-called mind-muscle connection. And on these single joint isolation movements, that is a purpose: mind-muscle connection, muscle intention, not movement intention. Please, if you like these videos, I would really appreciate if you make sure you're subscribed, share them, like them. We want to build up the subscriptions here. Thank you.